Alright class, so today I want to show you guys something special. Guess what? Your boy got on TV. Ain't that exciting? So, in celebration of my debut, I'm gonna call off all work today, and we're gonna be watching that new TV ad I was in. This thing sure is heavy, I knew I should have gone on that diet. So tired. Alright, finally. Phew. So, let's get started. Gattski puffs, eat 'em up, eat 'em up, eat 'em up, eat 'em up. Gattski puffs, eat 'em up, eat 'em up, eat 'em up, eat 'em up. I got Gattski puffs in my bowl. Now I'm gonna go to teach at school. I got Gattski puffs in my bowl. And just like that, a box is sold. Gattski puffs. No, it ain't real chocolate flavor. Gattski puffs. If I hit by the cops, I'll get the taser. Ain't real peanut butter too. You know how I roll, that's what I wake up to. So broke, so I had to write this rhyme. Need my check now, ain't got no time. Gattski puffs. Gattski puffs. Gattski puffs. Alright guys, so what'd you think? I think if I can keep at it, I can finally leave this dead and stupid teaching job and become a real rapper.
Boo! You suck, jackass!
Hey, no one's making you stay in here. If you don't like it, go transfer to another class.
What subject do you even teach?
Actually, that's a pretty good question. But while you guys can call me a jackass or whatever you want without any consequence because I can't do shit, the real people you don't want to mess with are taxonomists. And, speaking of ass, introducing the bony-eared assfish. Known for not only its weird name, but also its brain-to-body ratio, which is the smallest for any vertebrate, the bony-eared assfish is pretty much the definition of roast material. But what exactly is an assfish? And how did it get such a weird name? Well, take out your notebooks, because today we're going to be taking a look at this bony-eared fish, Deadass. Known scientifically as Acanthonus armatus, the bony-eared assfish is a bathypelagic cusk eel that was first identified in 1878 as the only member of the Acanthonus genus under the family Ophididae and its related subfamily Neopathidae. It's classified as a cusk eel like the kingklip. Despite their name and their appearance, cusk eels like the assfish aren't actually real eels, which split off from the class Actinopterygi during the Jurassic period. What gives it its eel-like appearance is actually the fusion of their dorsal, anal, and tail fins into a singular long fin, which likely happened when its family was formed. As opposed to an actual eel, cusk eels have several anatomical differences, such as their ventral fins, which are located near the underside of their throats. These help them to move in the water like a fish. In contrast, normal eels have very underdeveloped or completely non-existent ventral fins. In order to understand this better, imagine your hand. The difference between a cusk eel and you is its bitch slapping power. While you can use all of your fingers to maximize your bitch slapping surface area, the cusk eel has a single big ass finger for its bitch slapping surface area. The bony-eared assfish lives up to 4 kilometers or 2.4 miles in hamburgers per french fry underwater in tropical oceans, but it also has been found as far north as British Columbia. Even though it might look kinda small, it can actually grow up to almost 15 inches in length, which is a lot of ass. Ah, come on, you don't have to come to this class if you don't like it. Anyways, if you take a look at this fish, you might say, wow, that thing sure looks useless as all hell, and you'd actually be right. It has ridiculously flabby skin on top of super light skeletal structures, which makes it basically like one of those tomato things that have a few pins stabbed inside. This is probably due to the lack of energy that's available to the assfish. When it comes to food chains, the basis for all life is the sun, but since you don't see people vibing outside to get fed, we rely on alternative energy sources that are more indirect. Plants are the most direct way to get energy since they directly harness the energy of the sun, but as you move up the food chain, the total biomass of the subsequent level is only 10% of the lower level. A lot of energy is used up by organisms, so that only 10% is available to consumers that eat it, which is why there's weed everywhere but not a lot of cops around. I mean... Now what happens if you completely get rid of the sun? Pretty much no sunlight reaches 4,000 meters underwater, which means that no plants can grow. And because of that, the basic source of energy for any organism is pretty much non-existent. So in order to not fucking die, the assfish eats random bacteria that's in the water, which compared to plants, have a lot less net energy available, which explains why the assfish has such relatively underdeveloped muscles. But that's not really why you're here, is it? you're here to learn about the name, right? And what lyrical genius coined this gem of a name? To answer that question, I'd like you all to meet Albert Gunther, a late 19th century taxonomist who coined the name for the bony-eared assfish in 1887. Gunther was born in 1830 in Germany, but moved to Britain when he was in his 20s to help with classifying 2,000 different types of snakes. Not only that, he was also a zoologist, an ichthyologist, and also a herpetologist, so if you're ever feeling underachieved, good! He single-handedly described 340 different species of reptiles, the second most productive in recorded history. But while he was known for his work with reptiles, how exactly did he end up classifying the assfish? According to records, Gunther was interested in the assfish for its ugly looks and its weird living environment. Which, if I'm gonna be completely honest, is pretty fucking funny. Imagine only having people know you for being ugly as shit and living like a college freshman, without the loud parties and sex. So the big question, why bony-eared assfish? Do fish even have ears? Well, kinda. Let's start with its scientific name first, Acanthonus armanus. Since it's the only species to occupy that genus, we can get a lot from its etymology. Acanthonus is derived from two Greek words, akanthos and onus, which each translate into prickly and hake. Prickly being derived from the spikes on the side of its head. A hake is a type of fish, from either the Merlucidae or the Fishidae family of fish. Oddly enough, hake are a form of cod and more closely resemble a normal fish as opposed to the bony-eared assfish. Personally, I can't really see the relationship, but hey, I'm not a 19th century taxonomist. Or am I? Jokes aside, let's move on to the second half of its name, armatus. Armatus just means armed in Latin, which means in terms of direct translation, the bony-eared assfish is more akin to the armed prickly cod, which, if I'm gonna be completely honest, is actually a really fucking sick name for a fish. Actually, I think that should be my new rapper name. However, bony-eared assfish isn't actually an inaccurate name for this cuskeel. Looking at its spikes, you wouldn't be wrong for thinking they're bones, and since they're located at where the ears would be for a human head, that's where we get the bony-eared part of its name from. And for the assfish part of its name, well, there's not really a huge crazy conspiracy over its name or anything. Onus can also be mistranslated into donkey from Greek to English, and since it would be, well, weird to call something a donkey fish, it ended up getting localized into assfish. Alright class, that's gonna be it for our basic rundown of the bony-eared assfish, which not only is a dumb piece of motherfucking shit that lives under the sea doing little to nothing all day, but it's also an icon on how you don't want to fuck with people, because he'll end up calling you a weird name. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a recording session to get back to. Your boy MC Big G has got a new record with a new studio coming up, and I can't have you little brats ruining my rap career. Ciao!
1, 2, 3, 4.
Gattski puffs, eat 'em up, eat 'em up, eat 'em up, eat 'em up. Gattski puffs, eat 'em up, eat 'em up, eat 'em up, eat 'em up. I got Gattski puffs in my bowl. Now I'm gonna go to teach at school. I got Gattski puffs in my bowl. Just like that, a box is sold. Gattski puffs, no it ain't real chocolate flavor.